statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation to help. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition with Dr. Michael Garko. Welcome to the show.
Okay, there we go. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Great to be with you. Thanks for stopping by today. And start of a new week. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate your listenership. And look different on that screen. What's going on? Look washed out, man. What happened to all the color? Hope you're having a good day, good start to your day, and had a good weekend, and took care of yourself and did what you had to do to take care of yourself. It does get a little daunting at times, doesn't it? But I understand. But you take it one day at a time, one thing at a time, and you do your best. You do the best that you can, right? And of course, modern life, one of the characteristic features of modern life is lots of stress. Now, as we evolved over the millennia as a species, in our ancient ancestors, there was a lot of stress for sure. And I don't know what people are thinking sometimes when they talk about our ancient ancestors and the so-called, the Paleolithic diet, this and that and whatnot, these ideas. You talk about stress. I suspect that modern life is pretty stressful, no doubt. We're in it. You think that our ancient ancestors were under stress? Are you kidding me? Just the physical threats, day in and day out. There were no supermarkets. They're called hunter-gatherers for a reason. They were constantly on the move. There was no stay in one place and, sort of raise a family and come on. It was life or death every single day. And the gathering of eating of food, consumption of food was probably pretty uneven. Some days you'd ate and then maybe you went for days or weeks without much food and water. So life was very stressful. And the physical stress. And hence that our stress response, the fight or flight response, is an innate biological mechanism that has kept the species alive. When confronted with danger, you got three options: fight, flee, or freeze. That's it. What are you going to do? And the body physiologically prepares itself to fight or flee. And I've gone through, what happens. As we evolved and our brain became more evolved and we became self-reflective and reflexive and evolved as a species in a way that no other species has evolved, and we developed a psychological life. With that psychological life comes psychological stress because we're able to think and reflect about things and anticipate. Believe it or not, psychological stress for a long time was debated, and maybe even today you'll find arguments that, let me read a passage for you to underscore what I'm saying from Cohen's article, Psychological Stress and Disease. Despite widespread public belief that psychological stress leads to disease, the biomedical community remains skeptical of this conclusion. In this commentary, we discuss the plausibility of the belief that stress contributes to a variety of disease processes and summarize the role of stress in 4 major diseases: clinical depression, cardiovascular disease, human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, AIDS, and cancer. Close quote. Psychological stress is real. And it prompts the same response physiologically as does a physical threat. All the stress hormones get released. Same kinds of physiological things happen. Heart rate increases, certain areas, vascular system constricts, others vasodilate. The body gets ready to fight or flee. We can review those a little later if you like. Exactly how the body transforms itself as epinephrine, norepinephrine, adrenaline, cortisol, all these get a flood of these hormones, stress hormones, into the bloodstream. That's fine if it's situational for the moment and you got to do whatever you have to do. Not so fine and not so good if it becomes chronic. The body biologically does not like to have all those stress hormones floating around through the bloodstream and through all the cells, tissues, and organs all day long, 24/7. It has grave consequences, and Cohen and others believe contributes to disease. So you have, and that stress response kicks in when there's a perceived threat of some sort. Hmm. 877-897-8255, 877-897-TALK. And psychological stress happens when a person perceives that the environmental demands exceed that person's adaptive capacity. They have a sense of being overwhelmed. Operationally, Cohen comments that studies of psychological stress focus either on the occurrence of environmental events that are consensually judged as taxing or overwhelming to one's ability to cope, or on individual responses to events that are indicative of this, what we can call an overload, such as perceived stress, an event elicited negative effect. In other words, you anticipate something's going to happen. You perceive it. You perceive this situation to be stressful, not good, and you get a sense of being overwhelmed, and you feel a sense of being overloaded. Can't cope. I don't care who you are. You can take any human being, no matter how constituted or created. If you put them under enough stress, they will crack. I don't care who you are. That's what torture is all about, isn't it? That's the whole purpose of torture, is to crack that, put them under enough stress, they break down. It is so overwhelming that they will then confess. So the assumption goes. Oftentimes they will just lie and tell you what you want to hear. We've been through this over the last 10 or 15 years since we've been involved in these crazy wars in the Middle East. Talk to some of the experts at the CIA about interrogation and stress. That's what they're trying to do. Playing music at high volumes, deprivation of sleep deprivation, leaving the lights on all the time. Sooner or later, that's all designed to induce stress because they know that eventually you will succumb. That happens in everyday life. It may not be that dramatic. Maybe they're not playing glaring music, leaving the lights on all day and not feeding you. But modern life is such that psychological stress is real. So we'll talk about that today. And I'll report on a study or two along the way and things we can do about it. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition Coast to Coast.
At Nordic Naturals, we know that a commitment to deliver the world's safest, most effective omega oils requires an exceptional process. That's why we manage every step of production, from boat to bottle. That includes sustainably sourcing wild-caught fish from well-managed fisheries. It means using state-of-the-art equipment and technology at our manufacturing plant in Arctic Norway. Nordic Naturals bottles and encapsulates our omega-3s at our own facility and carefully ships products from our eco-friendly headquarters in California. The result? Nordic Naturals products have received more than 40 awards for taste, innovation, and product excellence. You can trust the quality of Nordic Naturals products and know you're getting all the health benefits omega-3 fish oils offer. Nordic Naturals' high-quality, great-tasting omega-3s make staying healthy easier for you and your family. When choosing an omega-3 fish oil product, choose the #1 fish oil in the U.S. Choose Nordic Naturals. Available at natural product retailers or online at nordicnaturals.com.
Are you waking up each day to the life you have to live or to the life you want to live? Better health shouldn't be left to chance. Smart choices to living longer and stronger include making Kyolic aged garlic extract a part of your daily routine. For years, medical researchers have recommended adding Kyolic to the diet as a powerful tool to enhancing overall heart and immune health. Recent clinical studies at UCLA Medical Center using Kyolic suggest that garlic may slow plaque formation in the arteries and support healthy cholesterol and homocysteine levels. Previous research also shows Kyolic may enhance your immune system defenses. Kyolic is organic, odorless, and the only antioxidant garlic supplement available worldwide. Maintaining a healthier you could extend your life. Your wellness begins with Kyolic aged garlic extract, available everywhere fine nutritional supplements are sold. Visit kyolic.com, that's KYOLIC.com, or call 1-800-421-2998 for a free sample today.
When you're passionate about your health, that passion leads to the knowledge that exercise and a healthy diet are not always enough. Sometimes you need the extra nutritional boost that only supplements can provide. If you are looking for the leading national brands of vitamins, supplements, health and beauty, weight loss, or sports nutrition products, look no further than Vitamin Discount Center. Voted best independent chain by Vitamin Retailer Magazine, Vitamin Discount Center has been a trusted and valuable nutrition resource to the Tampa Bay area for over 15 years. With daily savings up to 50%, Vitamin Discount Center offers the best prices on the highest quality nutritional supplements. Not only will you find unbeatable value, your visit includes access to a staff educated on the application of products to help equip you with the products and information you need to proactively improve your health. To locate the store nearest you, visit vitamindiscountcenter.com, as well as access to articles on popular health topics, promotions, events, and thousands of products to shop from right at home. Your search for an affordable solution to better health is finally over. Vitamin Discount Center. For life, for less.
Still looking for your fountain of youth? It's Zinnia. Look no further than the beauty aisle of your favorite health and nutrition store. Zinnia is the newest product from Form Essentials, the brand that brought you solace. So you know it's filled with the highest quality ingredients. Many cosmetic products only treat topically, while Zinnia addresses aging and hair loss from within. Formulated to support the growth of radiant hair, skin, and nails, Zinnia is sure to help you turn back the hands of time and assist you in aging gracefully. Zinnia provides a spectrum of key vitamins and other evidence-based natural ingredients such as alpha-lipoic acid, biotin, and collagen and elastin peptides, all combined in one capsule for your convenience. By promoting beauty from the inside out, you're strengthening your cells and creating a lasting enhancement to your natural beauty. Zinnia fits into your daily routine and can be taken to boost your current cosmetic products. Available now at leading health and nutrition stores. Ask for Zinnia by name. Start taking Zinnia hair, skin, and nails today and get ready to look amazing. Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Now Foods. Our products work. American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Renew Life, the digestive care company. Country Life, a leader and authority in natural health and nutrition. Enzymedica, the enzyme experts. North American Herb and Spice, the only oregano oil you can take on a daily basis. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for tuning in today. Psychological stress. Boy, I don't think I dare say there's probably not one person listening who's sitting there or watching this show, whatever you're doing while you listen and watch the show, or listen or watch the show, and saying, what's he talking about? I don't know what that is. Everybody knows what that is. You know what it feels like. You know when it's happening. Sometimes you don't know what the consequences are. And in terms of your health, the consequences can be serious. 877-897-8255. And Dominique Ostrander will be my guest. I had reported on a study that came out of Carnegie Mellon. And a Dr. Cohen was part of the study. I think he headed up the study, Sheldon. And they were talking about, or it was out of Carnegie Mellon, but the Carnegie Mellon University Sheldon Cohen is his name, found that chronic psychological stress is correlated with the body's losing its ability to regulate the inflammatory response. So now you know the connection. Stress, inflammation, disease. So the study was published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, pretty prestigious, and it showed for the first time at the time that the effects of psychological stress on the body's ability to regulate information can promote, in fact, the development and progression of disease. Some people think that's an abstraction and a bunch of nonsense. Truly, they don't get it. They're saying, how can that be? Stress response is an independent response, and it's a fight or flight response, and that's the end of it. Chemicals don't work that way. These stress hormones, they're designed to be to be released to accommodate the response for the situation, but not to be chronically dispensed into the bloodstream and throughout the systems of the body. Just not what they've been designed to do. And Dr. Cohen argued that prolonged stress alters the effectiveness of cortisol, a stress hormone, to regulate the inflammatory response because it decreases tissue sensitivity to the hormone. In a more specific sense, the immune cells become insensitive to cortisol's regulatory effect. And then you have runaway inflammation, then is thought to promote the development and progression of many diseases. So it's not the stress directly, but it's the one of the consequences of stress, which is inflammation, and then the inflammation is then connected to the promotion of disease. So inflammation is the sort of intermediary between the stress response and the disease. 877-897-8255. It's a toll-free number. This work by Cohen at Carnegie Mellon was considered, he did some groundbreaking early work that showed people suffering from psychological stress, for example, are more susceptible to developing common colds. I bet that there are more people listening here than I have sense who've had that experience, where they've been under stress. Maybe there was a death in the family, some financial problems, something happened, they were in an accident, under a lot of stress, and then they get sick. Catch a cold, catch a virus, cold virus, flu virus, or whatever. He demonstrated that and he used the common cold as the model for testing his theory. With the common cold, symptoms are not caused by the virus. They are instead a side effect of the inflammatory response that's triggered as the body's effort to fight the infection. And the greater your body's response to the greater the body's inflammatory response to the invading virus, the greater the likelihood of experiencing the symptoms of a cold. And he just used the common cold as a concept to confirm his theory that stress induces disease, a la or via inflammation. So in Cohen, in this one, and I remember reporting on this. This was a few years back. And he did a couple of studies together. The first study, after completing an intensive stress interview, he took 276 healthy adults and he exposed them to a virus that caused the common cold and monitored and quarantined for 5 days for signs of infection and illness. What Cohen found that experiencing a prolonged stressful event, i.e., in this case, the cold, was associated with the inability of the immune cells to respond to the hormonal signals that normally regulate the inflammation. The immune system couldn't do its job to moderate the inflammation for the stress. In turn, those with the inability to regulate the inflammatory response were more likely to develop colds when exposed to the virus. Interesting. Then he did another study where he assessed for the ability to regulate the inflammatory response and then exposed to a cold virus and monitored the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines. Those are the chemicals that trigger the inflammation response. And he found that those who were less able to regulate the inflammatory response, as assessed before being exposed to the virus, produced more of these inflammation-inducing messengers when they were infected. So we're just talking about a cold. The other C word, cancer, then gets involved too. We'll be back.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering, you're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Nubian Heritage, Global Healing, Modern Wellness. BSN, Finish First. Nordic Naturals, pure and great tasting omega oils. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Natural Factors, where great health begins. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. A. Vogel, Europe's leading brand of herbal medicine. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Okay, welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Dominique Ostrander is my guest. She's an educator for Jarrow Formulas. Today, the theme is psychological stress and its consequences. One of which is make you feel lousy. The other, it disrupts your life, quality of life goes south. But more importantly, it's correlated to disease, minor and major, to be musical about it. As I said, Dominique is my guest. And Dominique, welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. And I am sure that your job and your life is just stress-free, right?
Absolutely. Stress-free.
You lie. Psychological stress. People know when it's happening, yes?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think so. I don't think that I think the initial stressor definitely will bring out a response and a reaction. But I think that there becomes a numbing, so to speak, when it's a prolonged stress. I think that happens. I think you don't realize it when it's prolonged.
In other words, you think people adapt to it?
Yeah. Well, for example, the first rule of training as an exercise physiologist is overload and adaptability. So in order you overload your body physically to then adapt to it. And in exercise, when we do that, you then have to change it again. You have to change the load so that the body can adapt yet again. And we see this with athletes all the time, where they are constantly loaded in different ways so that their bodies adapt in different ways. But when it becomes a psychological stressor, I think we have the same adaptability. But I think that there's a part of us that becomes out of tune with that. Where in a physical sense, in a physical being, if we were feeling symptoms physically, it would then call our attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we have I don't know if it's a survival mechanism or something where we just can tune it out to some degree, disassociate from it, if we're not feeling something physical too, which often happens, as you and I both know, from stressors, from psychological stressors.
Mm-hmm. Cohen, in his piece about entitled "Psychological Stress and Disease," Cohen, there were a couple of other researchers on the project on the paper with him, says that generally speaking, stressful events are thought to influence the pathogenesis, the process of disease, of physical disease, the process of physical disease. How? He argues by causing negative emotional states, feelings of anxiety and depression, for example, which then, he says, in turn exert direct effects on biological processes or behavioral patterns that then influence or otherwise increase disease risk. So you catch the pattern there. The pattern
Absolutely.
is stressful events stimulates pathogenesis of physical disease. That causes negative emotional, negative affective states like anxiety and depression, which in turn then have direct effects on biological processes and people's behavior that then influence disease risk. That's the sort of the causal link that how he pieces that together. Now, most people walk
that physically though too.
He says
For example, like with athletes or people that start exercising, they immediately get a cold. Immediately, it's almost without fail. It's almost so predictable.
Right. He admits that. I mean, he doesn't negate. Mm-hmm. He's making an argument. The affective states as the psychological part. That's the point here. Mm-hmm. He's saying that the pathways linking psychological stress to disease, that's what he's outlining. Mm-hmm. He concedes, there's no question, physical stressors will do the same thing, but a lot of people don't think that psychological stress will do the same thing. Psychological stress triggers the same stress response. Mm-hmm. It doesn't epinephrine, norepinephrine, adrenaline,
right,
all those hormones.
It's physiological response. It's the same biochemical reaction.
Yes, exactly. That's what he's arguing.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm agreeing. I'm validating what you're saying.
And then he says exposure. Then when it becomes chronic, the exposure to chronic stress are considered the most toxic, he said, because they are most likely to result in long-term or permanent changes in the emotional, physiological, and behavioral responses that then tend to influence the susceptibility to and course of disease. So he's linking this all together. This was his theory. And you mentioned cold. That's exactly what he did. That's what was done in that one experiment that I mentioned, where he injected people with a virus, put them in isolation for 5 days, and they were under stress. And when the body was under stress, the immune cells couldn't accommodate the viruses, and they got sick. They got infected because it was stressful. So, what he's saying is that he just used the common cold to try to confirm his theory that the immune system gets compromised. Then he's saying that psychological stress will also compromise the immune system. You're getting those diseases because the immune system is not doing its job to fend off those diseases. So,
the human being that's the anomaly that we talk about on the air that can function without many hours of sleep. The same person would likely say, I do so well under stress. I function great under stress.
Well, maybe they do. I mean, that may be fine, but the body apparently doesn't have the capacity to deal with chronic stress. Day in, day out, week in, week out, and, this perpetual life of stress. It breaks down.
I think there's the misinterpretation there, I think, is that there is something about the adrenal response and the dopamine response that makes us more able to cope under a momentary or short-term situation. It's our fight or flight kicks in, and we can show up for what we have to do. And we think in those moments we have a reference point where we say, oh, I did so well, I performed well, I was able to handle that stressful situation and come out on top, and therefore we now make the connection and the reference point, wow, I do really well under stress. And it doesn't actually pan out that way over a period of time.
And so, Cohen and other researchers posed the question, does stress cause disease? Of course, that's what his theory is about, that, in fact, generally stress causes disease, and psychological stress, a form of stress, causes disease. And he links it to specific diseases. We'll come back, we'll talk about this. Then the question becomes, well, so what do you do about all that anyway?
Exclusively from Natural Factors.
I'm Dr. Michael Murray. I'm very excited to have the opportunity to talk with you about PGX, a truly revolutionary natural product that works perfectly to help get at the core issues that make weight loss so difficult. PGX is a clinically proven way to help people to achieve their ideal body weight that is safe and natural. PGX leads to a dramatic reduction in the glycemic index of any food or meal. It also ultimately causes the release of compounds that achieve two important goals in weight loss. One, telling your brain that you're satisfied so you eat less, and two, improving the action of the hormone insulin. If you've ever tried to lose weight and failed, it's not your fault. You just need the tremendous support that PGX can provide. For more information on making your weight loss dream a near effortless reality, please go to pgx.com.
Feeling tired after your meal? Occasional gas, bloating, or indigestion at inopportune times? You may have an enzyme deficiency. Did you know that many common digestive discomforts can be caused by poor digestion? When food isn't completely digested, it begins to ferment in the digestive tract, which may cause uncomfortable symptoms. Digest Gold, America's #1 selling enzyme product, offers unparalleled support for your digestive needs. It contains exclusive blends of enzymes optimized to be 3 times stronger and work more than 6 times faster than other leading digestive supplements. With just 1 capsule per meal, Digest Gold offers support to break down carbohydrates, fats, fiber, and protein. Enzymedica products are all natural, vegetarian, contain absolutely no fillers, and are vegan and kosher when possible. You'll find Digest Gold and other Enzymedica products at fine health food stores near you. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
At Country Life Vitamins, we've been helping people live happy, healthy lives since 1971, and we believe integrity should always be our #1 ingredient. We are committed to this belief because you deserve high-quality nutrition, specifically crafted with the highest standards to support your health. Country Life's manufacturing facility is an NSF GMP-registered facility, as well as USDA certified organic, so you can feel good about the products you're taking. Country Life Vitamins is also the first supplement company in the United States to have a complete line of products certified gluten-free. That's over 500 products. Country Life Vitamins' pledge of integrity is based on 5 standards: authenticity, cleanliness, freshness, consistency, and accuracy. Ask for Country Life's top-selling products, such as Coenzyme B Advanced for increased energy or Flex Able for joint health. Country Life Vitamins' commitment to ensure all of our products are pure, wholesome, gluten-free supplements full of natural goodness provides peace of mind with the knowledge you are using a brand you can trust. Battling sinus, bronchial disorders, allergies, and other seasonal irritants can be a constant struggle, making this the season when you need Oreganol P73 the most, nature's most powerful natural remedy. Get the blast of wild nature you need with the only wild Mediterranean oregano extract, Oreganol P73 from North American Herb & Spice. After being tested, both the USDA and the FDA agree Oreganol P73 is powerful. North American Herb & Spice knows it's powerful as well and knows P73 is just what you need. When you take P73, you'll experience its cleansing power. You'll smell the fresh mountain-grown aroma and feel its effectiveness. The Greeks used wild oregano for their health, not just spice, and called it Oroganos, the delight of the mountain. Oreganol P73 is 100% wild, hand-picked Mediterranean oregano. Do not accept cheap imitations made from farm-raised or non-oregano species. Use Oreganol P73 and stay healthy all year long. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Feel tired, lethargic, or irritable? Take Solace. You're one of millions of Americans that has trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. In fact, according to a national survey, 54% of adults have trouble sleeping. So what can you do about it? Take Solace. Solace is an all-natural dietary supplement formulated to support healthy sleep and relaxation. Solace can help you fall asleep and stay asleep naturally. Formulated with all-natural ingredients, Solace is non-addictive and won't leave you feeling groggy in the morning. Take Solace an hour before bed and feel the calming effects of this extensively researched sleep and relaxation aid. For more information on Solace, call toll-free 877-533-7066 or visit TakeSolace.com. That's 877-533-7066 or take SOLUS.com. Look for Solace in your local health and nutrition store. Solace for a good night's rest naturally.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Alga Life, Algae for Life, CV Sciences, From Seed to Shelf, New Chapter, The Benefit of Nature's Wisdom, Yerba Prima, Pioneers in Internal Cleansing, Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Now introducing Zinnia for healthy hair, skin, and nails. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
The stress-caused disease. 877-897-8255, 877-897-TALK. Dominique Ostrander is my guest. So in managing, I'm sure the people at Jar of Formulas are aware of stress and do they think that in some form or fashion dietary supplements could contribute to the stress to moderate the effects of stress or to try to manage stress?
Definitely.
Definitely. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Explain.
Emphatically, yes.
Okay. Explain then.
So, for example, when you have, and I hate to go back to exercise, but when a person is more physically fit and then they're placed under stress where they have an adrenal response, a fit person has less of an adrenal response because their body is very accustomed to it. So their body says, oh, okay, Sally's going to get up again and she's going to get on the Stairmaster. Your body doesn't know the difference between you going out for a run or you just get a really stressful phone call. Your body only knows that it has an adrenal response. So when a fit body has an adrenal response, it secretes less stress hormones. In the same way, when you approach it from a physiological standpoint, from a dietary supplement standpoint, if you anticipate stress, like you talked about very early on in the show, anticipatory anxiety and stress can be just as stressful as the actual event, sometimes even more so. And you are able to moderate those physical effects with a supplement. For example, first one came to mind is GABA Soothe. If you're able to moderate that kind of event because physiologically you're not feeling as stressed, well, then you're obviously helping your health because you're not having as great of an adrenal response as you would. Make sense?
Yeah. It's a product's called GABA Soothe. It's gamma aminobutyric acid, GABA Soothe.
Exactly. Exactly. And so GABA itself promotes physical relaxation and mental focus because it increases the brain alpha wave activity. And this interacts with the GABA neurotransmitter system. So that's the gist of GABA.
I understand.
By itself. And then we also have L-theanine in with the GABA, as well as ashwagandha. So an ashwagandha has been around for, I don't know how many thousands of years, as far as being an herb that helps to create relaxation and, again, moderate the physical effects of stress because it acts as an adaptogen.
I see. Okay, so there you mentioned GABA Soothe, and you have L-theanine, which is mixed in with that. You have L-theanine as a freestanding supplement as well?
We do.
Okay. So let me try this on, and then let me see how you respond to this. Stressful life events, and Lord knows everybody listening and watching the show have them, or maybe right as I'm speaking. Stressful life events have been correlated with major depressive disorders as well as to depressive symptoms. Stress and depression go together. That's been pretty clearly established in the literature. Cohen talks about during the 3 to 6 months preceding the onset of depression, 50 to 80% of depressed persons experience a major life event, compared with only 20 to 30% of non-depressed persons evaluated during the same period. He said that approximately 20% to 25% of persons who experience major stressful events develop depression. That's significant. Why, hell?
It's interesting. It's interesting. When I was in school, there was a study, and I'll try to see if I can find it on a break, where people that were diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia within 2 years of diagnosis also had a traumatic life event.
With preceding it, you mean?
Yes, preceding it, exactly.
So they had some dramatic life stressful event and then developed
chronic fatigue and or fibromyalgia.
So it must have did something to the immune system, perhaps, upset. That's one hypothesis, I suspect.
But it makes sense because when the person is under constant stress, just like people that have taken, and again, people don't understand this, when you're on prolonged use of diet pills, you're depleting all of your stress hormones. And people think, oh, well, that might be a good thing, right? Because then I don't have a lot of stress hormones. But your stress hormones actually kind of keep you happy your adrenaline, noradrenaline, epinephrine, norepinephrine, and your cortisol, once they're depleted, that's when the depression sets in. That's why people on diet pills, all of their stress hormones are depleted, their adrenals are exhausted, and they start to feel a depression.
And again, I keep referring to Cohen because I'm using his work as a reference point, and that although most investigations that have looked at this relationship have focused on life events as triggers of depression onset, increased stress also predicts the clinical course of major depression, which include features such as longer duration of stress, symptomatic exacerbation that happens, and relapse. The evidence also shows, clinical evidence studies also show that events that occur concurrently with treatment reduce positive response. So his whole point, Cohen's trying to make the contribution to the literature that his psychological stress is debilitating and dangerous. It causes disease. And this business about, I made that link earlier, and he then connects stress to cardiovascular disease. Then he connects it to cancer, and then he connects it to HIV and AIDS. It's interesting the connections he makes. Yeah. So, managing the stress, there are a lot of ways to manage it, of course. One is first out of the blocks, you have to recognize that, wait a second, I am under a lot of stress. And not to
you can't change what you don't acknowledge.
Right. You have to, you can't be in denial. You can't say, no, if I am, I can handle it. Well, that sets you off on the wrong course. That you're on the wrong course, and you have no map to get where you want to go doing it that way, because everything that's going to happen is going to be very unpredictable for you. Come back at the top of the hour. We're going to catch some news in your area and weather, whatever you all do, since we're coast to coast. And then we'll talk about managing stress from a dietary perspective, a lifestyle perspective. What can you do? And you can manage it. Don't control it. You manage it. Psychological stress today. That's what we're talking about. It's not as dark as you think. We'll be back. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition, coast to coast.
of WHNZ AM, its staff, management, or parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
Statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation to help. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition with Dr. Michael Garko. Welcome to the show.
And welcome to this Monday edition of Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for stopping by today. Great to be with you and spend some time with you, however long you can stay. We do this show Monday through Friday. Go on the air at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, coast to coast. And, show will air at different times in different markets, so you have to check your local listings. And if you're new to Let's Talk Nutrition, we'd like to, welcome you to the show. We're always happy to have new listeners, new viewers. And you can watch the show at letstalknutrition.com. The videos are, and everything is on demand, so you'll be able to, at your leisure, if you can't watch or listen to a show at a particular time, you can go back later, and you'll find them. The videos are on the homepage, at least some of them, not all of them, and then the rest are on YouTube, and a link will take you there. And there's a new affiliate to Let's Talk Nutrition, and I mentioned it last week. I was going to mention it again, but my computer went on the fritz that I didn't have it, couldn't pull up the screen. But KBSN AM in Moses Lake, Washington, and we like to welcome the folks in Moses Lake, Washington, to Let's Talk Nutrition, and it's KBSN AM. And it's KBSN First Choice for News and Information. So welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. We're glad that we can come into your community and share this show. And always, you know how to contact us, 877-897-8255, and then also email Dr. Garko at letstalknutrition.com. And visit the Let's Talk Nutrition website as well. At letstalknutrition.com, and then the Facebook page, LTN, on Facebook. Mm-hmm. So, I wanted to talk about psychological stress today because I think it's an issue, a life condition that affects every human being listening to this show or watching it. It's inescapable. Other than making you not feel good and, draining you of your energy, disrupting the quality of your life, and so on, those are consequences we're all aware of. And you often hear me say, and I don't say it loosely, stress is a killer. Chronic stress. And I firmly believe that. I didn't reach that conclusion because one day I just woke up and said, I'm just going to say that. I came to that conclusion after going through the literature, talking to experts, doing the show for 11 years, looking at all the studies, primary research, secondary research, and reached that conclusion. For me anyway, that is a pretty defensible conclusion. Let me explain. Researchers such as Cohen and others, believe, and it's Sheldon Cohen, by the way, believe that stress and causes disease. And by the way, psychologically, it's connected to depression at these different affective states, depression, anxiety, and so on. But he also makes the connection between stress and cardiovascular disease. Now, there's been a lot of experimental research with animals and this is like preclinical work with humans that provides very strong support for a stress-elicited increase in coronary artery disease. So often what happens in science is you have researchers who do experimental research with animals. That lays the foundation to either, they may do those studies to confirm or disconfirm certain hypotheses or theories that they have about one thing or another. Once they collect that data, then other researchers, or maybe some of them for that matter, will then pick it up with humans and do studies with humans, either observational study, like epidemiological studies, and then randomized placebo-controlled trials and whatnot. So that's sort of like the progression. So animal research serves a purpose here. In health, they did some research with humans, prospective research conducted among people who were healthy populations. And with those healthy populations, these studies have found a link between psychological stress and cardiovascular disease, morbidity, which is illness and sickness, and mortality. And there's a bunch of studies. I mean, a whole line of research here on this. There was one meta-analysis, which was a study that looked at a bunch of other studies, and they estimated an approximate 50% increase in cardiovascular disease risk associated with high levels of work stress, defined as, low workplace control coupled with high demands, inadequate compensation, or organizational injustice, and so on and so on. In other words, it's a terrible damn place to work. And they hired all the managers and people running the outfit from hell. And so that can be very debilitating over time to a person's health. And it's not something that just goes away. People have to deal with that stuff day in and day out. And people have been known to quit a job and go get another job that pays less money just not to have to deal with that because their life and their health have become just so upside down from it all. Work-related stress is big time. It's real. Some companies have gone out of the way to try to deal with that. Google, Apple, some of these more progressive kinds of companies understand that and try to create workplace environments where people don't feel so under siege and stress, to the extent that they have all sorts of things go on. If you go to their office complexes, finding paintings on the wall, I mean, all sorts of activities, things to give people a chance to decompress. Better food, better facilities, better everything. Because they get it. They know that on the long run, if wearing people down because of too much work, which is stressful, is one thing. Wearing people down because it's a stressful place to work, because it's not a good place to work, that's a totally different matter. So I think you get it. And again, long-term cardiovascular disease risk is also increased among initially healthy people who experience traumatic events. I'll repeat that. And Dominique Ostrander alluded to this. Long-term cardiovascular risk is also increased in initially among initially healthy people who experience a traumatic event, such as the death of a child, or who are exposed to emotional, sexual, or physical abuse during early life. The body has an incredible, remarkable memory. Things just don't happen and then they go away. We're so designed. Even though we may forget, biologically we have not forgotten. It seems like every cell in our body has this ability to remember, right? Just interesting to me how this all starts to make sense, and when you put it together and you look at people's everyday life, it seems, everything just looks fine. They're going to work and this and that. Everything looks just fine. Yeah, well, what do we know? What's the principle? Things are often not what they seem. Sometimes just to get to work is enough to give somebody a heart attack.
If you've ever had digestive issues slow you down, it's time to live digestively with the #1 high-potency probiotic, Ultimate Flora. Because with 50 billion live cultures inside you, life feels a little lighter, a little livelier, a little more you. No matter where life takes you, live digestively with Ultimate Flora probiotics from Renew Life. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. #1 probiotic brand with 15 billion or more cultures based on annual sales. How can a sweet little fruit gummy help you live digestively? Ultimate Flora probiotic gummies put the ultimate natural digestive support to work inside you to help you feel a little lighter, a little more you. And if raspberry lemonade's a little more you, feel bubbly in a good way with Ultimate Flora probiotic fizzy drink mix. Ultimate Flora probiotic gummies and fizzy drink mix. 2 great ways to live digestively, deliciously. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
As a family-owned company since 1968, Now Foods has spent the last 46 years building a legacy in the natural health industry as a trusted leader. Now provides a comprehensive approach to wellness by offering more than 1,400 high-quality health foods, supplements, sports nutrition, and personal care products at an affordable price. Now believes that natural is better. They don't use artificial colors, flavors, or sweeteners, and they offer many vegetarian, organic, and gluten-free products. Their foods are all non-GMO. Since their beginning, Now has grown to become an award-winning leader in the natural health industry. But one thing has never changed: their commitment to providing the highest quality products at the best value to empower people to lead healthier lives. High quality doesn't have to mean high price. From essential oils to amino acids, multivitamins to natural sweeteners, Now has you covered. To find a store near you that carries Now products, or for more information, visit nowfoods.com. That's nowfoods.com.
Natural Factors presents.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Murray. How would you like to feel more calm, centered, and alert with greater mental focus and clarity? Pharma-GABA, a special natural form of the major brain chemical GABA, can help. Our brain can naturally produce GABA, but sometimes we don't produce enough, so taking it as a supplement can give your brain a GABA boost. Pharma-GABA is a clinically proven form that is considerably more effective than other forms. Pharma-GABA produces favorable changes in brainwave patterns as well as a dramatic reduction in markers of stress, including salivary cortisol levels. Pharma-GABA is fast-acting, with feelings of calmness and mental focus experienced within 5 minutes of taking Pharma-GABA. So, if you want to feel calmer with greater mental clarity and focus and need a fast-acting help to cope with a stressful day, give Pharma-GABA a try. I think you'll be glad you did.
When you're passionate about your health, that passion leads to the knowledge that exercise and a healthy diet are not always enough. Sometimes you need the extra nutritional boost that only supplements can provide. If you are looking for the leading national brands of vitamins, supplements, health and beauty, weight loss, or sports nutrition products, look no further than Vitamin Discount Center. Voted best independent chain by Vitamin Retailer Magazine, Vitamin Discount Center has been a trusted and valuable nutrition resource to the Tampa Bay area for over 15 years. With daily savings up to 50%, Vitamin Vitamin Discount Center offers the best prices on the highest quality nutritional supplements. Not only will you find unbeatable value, your visit includes access to a staff educated on the application of products to help equip you with the products and information you need to proactively improve your health. To locate the store nearest you, visit vitamindiscountcenter.com, as well as access to articles on popular health topics, promotions, events, and thousands of products to shop from right at home. Your search for an affordable solution to better health is finally over. Vitamin Discount Center. For life, for less.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Now Foods. Our products work. American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Renew Life, the digestive care company. Country Life, a leader and authority in natural health and nutrition. Enzymedica, the enzyme experts. North American Herb and Spice, the only oregano oil you can take on a daily basis. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
And we're back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. If you just tuned in, Dominique Ostrander is my guest educator for Jar Formulas. Dominique, welcome back. You heard me report on some research, and I could go on. I could do 2 hours just on that one topic of work-related stress and its contribution to people not doing well in life and getting sick. You were in cardio rehab with people, working with them. Did you see any connection between their cardiovascular? Were these people, was stress an issue for them ever?
Actually, that's a very interesting question, and I'll tell you why. Because there were some patients that it was very clear that the physical stress that they put their bodies through, which was being overweight, which is actually, it was more than being overweight. It was more of a moderate to morbid obesity. But even in the cases where it was more moderate, high blood pressure that was left untreated or treated sporadically, smoking, those, to me, were a physical load. That was their overloading in their physical body, and their body couldn't take it anymore. Whether or not there was psychological stress, I think that there always is. I think that as far as being overweight in the society that we live in, I think that immediately creates a psychological stress. I know it does for women. I think I don't want to be presumptuous and say that it creates the same for men, but I think just by being overweight, you're creating a psychological stress to some degree. And I know that our society is this sort of dichotomy between love yourself and accept yourself, and yet you have to lose weight. I think that there's a fine line there that becomes very convoluted. Besides that, there were patients that were, without fail, had horribly stressful lives. Children that were addicts, financial issues, all along with their own physical breakdown of what was going on in their bodies. So there wasn't any patient that was without stress, some more than others. But like I was saying, I think physically, their physical being and the condition, the status of their physical well-being was a tremendous source of stress.
So in talking with them, you were able to see that many of these patients had stressful lives, chronic stress, traumatic events of one sort or another, and here they are, overweight or obese, and with cardiovascular disease.
That's right. You know what's interesting? I read this a long time ago, that when the Red Cross goes into a disaster situation, they intentionally, purposefully serve foods high in complex carbohydrates to boost serotonin levels.
That's interesting. Well, isn't that which leads me then how nutrition gets implicated in trying to manage stress? There would be certain foods that would exacerbate stress, right?
Absolutely, and I think that's one of the first things from where your standpoint is. more versus mine coming from an exercise background, where you would say, okay, and they say this all the time, avoid highly caffeinated beverages, avoid sugary foods, avoid refined carbohydrates, have a diet high in omega-3s.
Right. I mean, the diets high in sugar, okay? For example, processed sugar, added sugar to food. Clearly, avoid, they contribute, they exacerbate the effects of stress and may even be stressful in their own right in how they affect the body biochemically, right? And physiologically.
Absolutely.
And eating these carbohydrates, these simple carbohydrates, these processed carbs, processed foods that are vacuous of any real nutrition, what you want to avoid. Ironically, what do people crave when they're under stress? The very foods that they shouldn't be eating.
And the comfort foods, the typical comfort foods, ice cream, maybe pizza, macaroni and cheese, whatever their association is with comfort foods. And that goes back to what we've talked about for years, the relationship we each have individually with food and how we think about it and how it soothes us or how it upsets us.
So, again, from a nutritional supplement perspective, is there anything that can moderate the temptation for these more stress-related kinds of foods, eating them, or not? In other words, the craving of sugar and so on. Is there anything that can blunt that a bit or not? Like Silvestri Gemini?
As far as nutritional supplement standpoint, I think my hands down favorite supplement for this is theanine. And Jarrow Formulas makes a 200. We make a 200 milligram theanine that I think, because theanine is a precursor for the production of neurotransmitters that serve health in many ways, it's especially useful in stressful situations or for people that suffer from anticipatory anxiety or anticipatory stress.
L-theanine.
Without causing drowsiness, yes.
L-theanine, which is an amino acid. Simple. 877-897-8255, 877-897-TALK. Food can be a stressor. Just even the craving of food can cause stress. We'll be back.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering, you're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace for healthy sleep naturally.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Nubian Heritage, Global Healing, Modern Wellness. BSN, Finish First. Nordic Naturals, pure and great tasting omega oils. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Natural Factors, where great health begins. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. A. Vogel, Europe's leading brand of herbal medicine. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching this show, and whatever you may be doing. Stress is inevitable. It is uncomfortable. And there are ways to manage and reduce it, right? Exercise, meditation, massage, going for a walk, whatever. Painting, playing music. But sometimes people don't do that. Can't do that, don't want to do that. So you have to figure out how to manage it in other ways. So you don't want to make a bad situation worse. So one thing to avoid doing is eating and drinking certain foods here that will make things worse. Dominique Clark is my guest today. Dominique, welcome back. Sugar, refined sugar that's one for sure, because it spikes blood glucose levels, which spikes insulin levels, and then you create this vicious cycle of things. And we know that body doesn't like too much insulin and glucose in the bloodstream, and that induces stress as well. And that's a bad idea. Caffeine, overconsumption of caffeine is another, which is a stimulant, of course. That can make matters worse. Even preservatives in certain foods will cause MSG can cause exacerbate stress, and of course alcohol can be a possible stress inducer. Some people think, well, if I drink some alcohol before I go to bed, I'll sleep. Not necessarily, no. In fact, it disrupts the whole sleep architecture. And I could go on and on. You had mentioned certain comfort foods, and, for some people, cookies, crackers, cakes, chips, donuts, and all that stuff are very comforting, and they'll eat that food, and boy, it's just one of the worst things you could do. You might get a sort of an immediate effect, but long-term, bad idea. So, keeping a person's nutritional status up would be important if they're under a lot of stress. Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Right.
And I think supporting, like I was talking about, the adrenal glands get exhausted. So not only are our adrenals depleted, and Jaro Formulas makes a tremendous product called Adrenal Optimizer, which was formulated actually for this very reason. It's a blend of very potent adaptogenic and adrenal herbs and nutrients, and it supports our body during terrible physical stress, mental stress, and it actually promotes adrenal renewal. So I would say that if you're under stress, helping your adrenals, adding a B vitamin, whether it's a methyl B, a B12, a B complex, all of those things help support the body physically when we're under stress.
B vitamins, B complexes, you mentioned, very, very good to take if you're under a lot of stress, correct?
Yes, correct, because they're depleted with our adrenals. And, part of what I come across out there in the field is that people are believing, well, is this a nutraceutical belief or is this an actual medical belief? So it's medically known. This has nothing to do with nutraceuticals or kinesiology or anything like that. When you're under stress, your adrenals deplete your B vitamins, and which eventually will cause a lot of fatigue and being very tired. So it's important that I always say when the holidays come, and they're coming, start taking a B complex and a methyl B12 lozenge at least a couple times a week. For the lozenge, your B12, your B complex should be taken every day.
Mm-hmm.
If you know you're going to be dealing with family stress and a bunch of cooking and parties and running yourself ragged, then these are all ways to support your body through all of that.
Mm-hmm. I had mentioned sugar. Mm-hmm. When people are under stress, they seem to crave sugar. They also seem to crave the unhealthy fat foods, if you will. And there's research to support that the physical or emotional stress increases the intake of food high in fat or sugar or both. That brings in that whole arena of processed foods then.
There's a theory behind that.
And that is?
That when we were, way back, when we were walking this earth with our knuckles dragging, that under those stressful conditions, our body fat got so low that it was a survival mechanism. I don't know about the sugar, but the fat was to keep our fat stores up during those times of stress and famine.
Mm-hmm. for sure, so, as an energy supply. And then, I'll mention meditation, exercise, social support, trying to move yourself out of the heavy life traffic that you may find yourself in. Just simply doing that are all very important in managing stress. You don't control it because you can't control. The only thing that you have any influence over is your response to the stress. How are you going to respond? Things happen that are out of your span of influence. You can't control crazy people that you come in contact with that do bizarre things that may be very stressful. You don't control the traffic. You don't control the flight being late. You don't, and so on, and so on, and so on. So what do you do about that? Right? How do you respond to that? And that's why I say you don't control stress, you manage. You manage. What you're managing is your response to the stressful event, whether it's a physical threat or a psychological threat.
Excellent point.
That, and sometimes people who are more control oriented have a hard time with that, to let go of the control. They think, well, I can control this. No, you can't. You can manage. There's a difference. Control means that independent of the event, process, person, thing, whatever, you're in charge. Really? I don't think so. Don't think so. And it's hard to give that up. You know, control creates this false sense of security. If I'm in control, then everything's okay. Well, maybe it's not. So, you know, again, that's just a sidebar to it all. But there's a nutritional approach as well, spiritual approach, psychological approach, physical approach, relational, social, relational approach, to all helping to manage stress. It's interesting to have conversations with Buddhist monks and others who practice meditation. I mean, it's their life, and talk to them about these kinds of things and their whole approach to it all. And they will tell you, giving up control is liberating.
Energy, energy, and more energy. Everyone needs it. But did you know you can get the energy you need quick through the powers of wild forest extracts? Wild chaga and birch bark were a secret source of energy and power for Russian athletes years ago, making them unbeatable. Now you too can experience real energy and power like you never dreamed possible. Wild chaga is the world's top source of SOD, superoxide dismutase, that critical enzyme that blocks the aging process and keeps your cells healthy. Wild birch extract is the world's top source of betulin, a natural sterol needed by every cell of the body. And healthy cells mean a healthy you, and a more powerful one too. Chaga birch bark is also good for your heart, healthy cholesterol, and even helps build healthy arteries. No wonder it's known as the king of all herbs. So take your Chaga Charge tea with wild birch bark every day and Chaga Max capsules from North American Herb and Spice and get that maximum energy you need. Also available in liquid as Chago Power Drops. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Feel tired, lethargic, or irritable? Take solace. You're one of millions of Americans that has trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. In fact, according to a national survey, 54% of adults have trouble sleeping. So what can you do about it? Take Solace. Solace is an all-natural dietary supplement formulated to support healthy sleep and relaxation. Solace can help you fall asleep and stay asleep naturally. Formulated with all-natural ingredients, Solace is non-addictive and won't leave you feeling groggy in the morning. Take Solace an hour before bed and feel the calming effects of this extensively researched sleep and relaxation aid. For more information on Solace, call toll-free 877-533-7066 or visit TakeSolace.com. That's 877-533-7066 or take SOLUS.com. Look for Solace in your local health and nutrition store. Solace, for a good night's rest naturally.
The latest trend to hit the store shelves has the whole country buzzing. Cannabidiol, or CBD, might just be the greatest discovery of our generation, and it comes from a plant that is not so new, agricultural hemp. Yes, after 70 years of prohibition and misunderstanding, hemp is back to help you stay healthy and balanced. Growing research is showing that we have a lot to learn from the remarkable hemp plant. Nutrient-rich products like Plus CBD Oil's Total Plant Complex concentrated products provide broad-spectrum nutrition, including fatty acids, plant sterols, cannabinoids, terpenes, and naturally occurring vitamin E. From seed to shelf, all Plus CBD Oil products provide the highest quality hemp-derived CBD products available and are offered in a variety of delivery systems and flavors to suit your needs. Ask your local independent health food store about Plus CBD Oil products by CV Sciences today and learn more about the CBD evolution at pluscbdoil.com. That's pluscbdoil.com.
At Country Life Vitamins, we've been helping people live happy, healthy lives since 1971, and we believe integrity should always be our #1 ingredient. We are committed to this belief because you deserve high-quality nutrition, specifically crafted with the highest standards to support your health. Country Life's manufacturing facility is an NSF GMP-registered facility, as well as USDA certified organic, so you can feel good about the products you're taking. Country Life Vitamins is also the first supplement company in the United States to have a complete line of products certified gluten-free. That's over 500 products. Country Life Vitamins' pledge of integrity is based on 5 standards: authenticity, cleanliness, freshness, consistency, and accuracy. Ask for Country Life's top-selling products, such as Coenzyme B Advanced for increased energy or Flex Able for joint health. Country Life Vitamins' commitment to ensure all of our products are pure, wholesome, gluten-free supplements full of natural goodness provides peace of mind with the knowledge you are using a brand you can trust.
Feeling tired after your meal? Occasional gas, bloating, or indigestion at inopportune times? You may have an enzyme deficiency. Did you know that many common digestive discomforts can be caused by poor digestion? When food isn't completely digested, it begins to ferment in the digestive tract, which may cause uncomfortable symptoms. Digest Gold, America's #1 selling enzyme product, offers unparalleled support for your digestive needs. It contains exclusive blends of enzymes optimized to be 3 times stronger and work more than 6 times faster than other leading digestive supplements. With just 1 capsule per meal, Digest Gold offers support to break down carbohydrates, fats, fiber, and protein. Enzymedica products are all natural, vegetarian, contain absolutely no fillers, and are vegan and kosher when possible. You'll find Digest Gold and other Enzymedica products at fine health food stores near you. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Alga Life, Algae for Life, CV Sciences, From Seed to Shelf, New Chapter, The Benefit of Nature's Wisdom, Yerba Prima, Pioneers in Internal Cleansing, Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace, now introducing Zinnia for healthy hair, skin, and nails. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
And here's the LTN Health question of the day. We do this every day around this time, so stay tuned. You can win a $25 gift card, right? Supplement gift card. It's all good. So you heard me talking today about psychological stress. Of course, we all, we know what physical stress is, but psychological stress is real, and it initiates the same stress response, the fight or flight response, as does any physical stressful event or threat. And the literature now is pretty convincing, I should say, at least for me it is, that chronic stress has consequences, and that it does, and generally, and psychological stress specifically, affects a person's health. Not only in terms of makes them feel not so good, right? And disrupts their quality of life and causes them, sort of to feel disrupted. But it has real other kinds of health consequences. Here's the question. Which of the following health problems is linked to stress? Which of the following? anxiety, arthritis, infertility, insomnia, or all of the above? Anxiety, arthritis, infertility, insomnia, or all of the above? Stress is related to which one of those, or all of the above? 877-897-8255, 877-897-TALK. You have the right answer. You'll win a $25 supplement gift card. Dominique, welcome back. What I was getting at, too, a moment ago, keeping a person's nutritional status up, optimal, if possible, when under stress, because they're probably not going to eat right, not going to sleep right, and so on. They're trying to maintain nutritional status can be a challenge. I would think that a good multiple vitamin and mineral would be on order, don't you?
I think so, for sure. If you're not eating right, absolutely. I think multis, for me, they're a great place to start. Compliance sometimes is hard with multis, only because sometimes they're hard on people's stomachs.
Well, they should take it with food.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's very important to take it with food. Sometimes people have a hard time taking it throughout the day, which a lot of multis will ask for you to do. That's generally the dosing on multis throughout the day. And but I agree. Jarrow makes a great multi 1 to 3. It's a comprehensive multi with antioxidant herbs as well.
I see. Yeah.
So what the name implies. You can take 1 up to 3.
The stress response, the fight or flight response, requires a lot of energy, a lot of ATP to get that platform moving. And if it's chronic stress, that's why you feel so fatigued. That's one of the reasons. It just beats you down. Your energy is being used to mount that response. And the after effects, a lot of energy is consumed. So keeping your nutritional status up, and usually people have extreme responses to stress. Either they'll eat a lot or they won't eat at all. Either they'll sleep a lot or they won't sleep at all. Either they'll drink a lot of alcohol or they won't drink at all. It's just everybody's different. There's a lot of people in between.
Mm-hmm. Your point is it's outstanding about the energy consumption by our bodies, which is why, for example, ribose, which increases ATP production, is such a vital nutrient for people that are dealing with chronic fatigue or fibromyalgia.
That's a good point. The ribose. You're right about that. I forgot all about that. Let's go to Lakeland, Florida. Pretty nice up there in Lakeland. I wonder if there are any lakes in Lakeland. Sarah, welcome. Or they all dried up. Sarah, welcome. They call it Lakeland for a reason, right?
Yes.
Are there lakes in Lakeland? I'm just asking.
There are a lot of lakes in Lakeland.
I hope so. Otherwise, somebody gave me the wrong name to the wrong place. So how are you doing, Sarah? You doing all right?
I'm stressed.
What could be causing you stress now?
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of. Isn't that how it is, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. It's a little of this, a little of that, and next thing you know, you got a lot of little things.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, it's hard to avoid. But we always have a choice. This is easy for me to say, but we always have a choice. Do you let it? Do you? It's how you respond, right, to the event.
I agree.
Now, some events are very dramatic. A loved one passing away, somebody becoming ill, some catastrophic event. That's very difficult. I don't care who you are. People, we're human. But some of the little stuff, I remember things that used to bother me, now they don't even register. I could care less because, you can't remain stupid forever. You sort of catch on and say, well, that's not important, dummy.
There you go.
Right, yeah. So, but it takes time to learn that stuff. So what do you think? of all those things that I mentioned, which one do you think is a consequence of stress? Which one? You want to?
All of those.
All of them. All of them and a lot more.
Yes.
Constipation, depression, diabetes.
I don't think you mentioned constipation.
People do become constipated. Irritable bowel syndrome, nervousness. I have a list here from Harvard. This list is longer than my arm of the health consequences associated with stress. So, it's nice that you called. You have a nice sense of humor and it brought a little levity to this. We appreciate that. Congratulations. Thank you so much for listening to the show. I appreciate it.
I enjoy it so much. I make it a point to listen.
Well, I'll make it a point to be here with you, okay?
Okay, I appreciate it.
All right. Dominique, thank you so much. I wish you the best, and I will talk with you soon, okay?
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Remember, try to manage the stress. Do the best you can. Do the best you can. And you want to do that because your health is your wealth, and your health is the wealth of those that care about and love you. When I say the best you can, sometimes you do better than other days, but that's all right, At least keep trying. See you tomorrow.